Welcome to the Tony the Prophet channel for week 3. We had a good week 2. I was 3-1. I should have been 4-0, but we got robbed. Let's go through the games here quickly before we go off to the new ones. New England plus 1.5 beat Miami 33-27. Philadelphia minus 1.5 beat the Chiefs 20-17. We had the Chargers 3 or 3.5. It didn't matter. I got some early threes. They beat the Raiders 20-9, and then I had Denver minus 1.5 against Indy, and I got robbed. They called a leverage penalty on the last play of the game that gave Indy the win. I watched that play 20 times, and I have to tell you, the guy from Denver put his hands on the back of the center for 1 second, never jumped off. It's not an often called penalty. I believe it was called 3 times last year in 272 games. Are you kidding me? They were looking for ways to make sure Indy won that game. There was a third down pass interference that would have kept the drive alive, where Denver could have got some points. And there was also a face mask in Indy that they didn't call. And Craig Wallstad, I told you at the beginning of my preseason video, he's one of the sucky six. He's going to cost you games, and he cost me some money on that one, I got to tell you. So we're 5-4-1 for the season. Would have been 6-3-1, but that's okay. More games, a lot more weeks, and we move on. But that was they never called that. That was a bad call. So anyways, let's take the games. This week, I like the Rams getting 3.5. Let's face it, Philly has done as little as possible to win these games. Passing yards, 119 yards a game, it's 31st. So you got, take a look at the 2 stars who I refuse to draft because this team, in my fantasy leagues, because this team doesn't throw the ball, okay? They like to run the ball. But A.J. Brown, 6 catches for 35 yards. This guy was getting drafted in the first round, no later than early second round. Devonta Smith, 6 catches for 68 yards. The Goddard's been out. I believe he comes back this week. He's been like their leading pass catcher. But it's a joke. A.J. Brown had 1 catch for 7 yards in his first game. So the Rams are the number 1 scoring defense. They're only giving up 14 points a game. And who could forget the playoff game last year, okay, where the Rams, on one play, if Puka makes the catch, I believe it was Puka on the sideline, in that snow game, very dramatic snow game, playoff game in Philadelphia, that if he made that catch, they knocked Philly out of the playoffs, and there is no Philly Super Bowl win, okay? So you have a Rams team that's 4th against the pass and 18th versus the rush, but only 112 yards a game, and they give up 147 yards a game against the opposition. Rams 5-0 against the spread last 5, 5-1 against the AFC last 6. Now Philly's not a slouch when it comes to the spread. They're 6-2 over the last 8, but I think you have a bad matchup here with a good Rams defense. They know how to play them well. Are they going to win? Maybe not. It doesn't matter. You're getting the hook. The hook is huge here. Philly hasn't scored a lot of points. I believe they scored 22 points a game average. So you have a good defensive matchup here. Rams know how to play them well. I have it Philly 24-21. It could be 20-17, 23-20, or 21, something like that. But you're getting the hook. And the Rams should have beat them before and in that game and came back. So that's game 1. Game 2, I'm taking New England plus 1.5. I got 2 on Fanatics. It's still out there if you want to bet that. Unfortunately, and for this game with the Steelers, both defenses have not played well. Okay, Pittsburgh is 1-6 against the spread the last 7 games. And what do we learn on this channel? If we learned anything, you never take Pittsburgh as a favorite. You only take them as an underdog. Tomlin is the best underdog coach in the league. The Steelers are 0-2 starting the year as favorites. Okay, here's the huge thing. The Patriots defense hasn't been great, but the Steelers defense they're a walking wounded, okay? Joey Porter, cornerback, is out. Alex Highsmith, linebacker, is out. Deshaun Elliott, safety, out. So the over under is only 44 and a half. This game could shoot out. I think I haven't bet it yet, but I'm definitely gonna take a look where I can get the best juice on this, and I'm betting this. I like this over. Pats is D is 32nd versus the pass, but Gonzalez has been out. I don't know if he's well enough to come back, but that's their Achilles heel. But Steelers have a ton of people out, so who's going to stop somebody? I can't believe the over-under is 44 and a half because they haven't been great teams. But I'm taking the Pats. They're at home, and I have a Pats 30-27. And to move on to the next game, I'm giving you an over in this next one. We have Dallas and Chicago. I'm going over 50 and a half points. You got two pathetic defenses. Can it be a get-well game for Caleb Williams? Sky hasn't done much, even though he has Ben Johnson. But again, Chicago, so you have Dallas defense who has a few guys out that hasn't played well. They made Russ look like Dan Marino last week, and the week before he only threw for 168 yards. So Chicago, T.J. Edwards, cornerback, linebacker, is out. Jalen Johnson, cornerback, is out. That is huge. And Kyler Gordon, cornerback, is out. Grady Jarrett on the D line, he's questionable. I think he'll play. But Dallas gave up 450 yards to Russell Wilson, okay? And it looked like Russ was cooked the week before instead of let Russ cook. So DeAndre Swift is questionable. He may play, but that's even more for the over with if Chicago can't get a good run game, which hasn't been great, that Caleb has to throw more. So I have this game over 50 and a half. Dallas 34-28. It could be 38-34, 41-34. It's going to be over 30 for Dallas, and Chicago will be right there. So I like that one. Now, on my next game, I was going with San Francisco, and I still like them. But I'm going to change it. I'm going to take Atlanta -5.5. Now, this line moved from -3 to -5.5. And, the Atlanta D is strong. They played very well against Minnesota. Bijan's going to go crazy because historically the Panthers have been bad against the run D, okay? And they're good against the pass D because they have C.D. Horn, one of the best corners in the NFL. So my only worry is with Tyler Algier is that he's been bogarting carries, and he got the touchdown last week against Bijan. Bijan did well. I have him in one of my fantasy teams, and I lost those points, but he still had like over 20 points, so it didn't matter. But at the end of the day, they're just going to run the ball. They don't have to pass, and if they do, they still have a few weapons, and Mooney's back. So CD will be on London, CD Horn, so I wouldn't play him in fantasy. Well, you got to play him in your regular teams, but I would bet his under yards. So, division game, but it doesn't matter. I have it Atlanta 27-17. They should cover the 5.5. So I have Frisco. That was my other game. We'll give it as a bonus game, -2.5. I got a 2 on Fanatics. San Francisco's home. Mac Jones had a strong game last week. Arizona beating up on bad teams. They beat the Saints and the Panthers. And Arizona last week just about blew that game. They had a 24-point lead, and it was life and death in the fourth quarter. And I think if that game went another 2 minutes, they probably would have lost. It was 27-22, and they were up 24-0. They only beat the Saints in Carolina. I think the Saints have been playing better. Frisco has averaged 266 yards a game passing, and Arizona is 26 versus the Pats. So there's the key matchup in the game. CMC will get his. Now, the only thing I'm worried about, and the reason I'm pushing this game down, is that Kittle's out, and I think Jennings is going to be out. But they still, with CMC, you got Pearsall, they have other guys there. They're a well-coached team. They're a better coached team than the Cardinals. So I had it. I didn't write it on here because I changed it, but I have my spreadsheet here with all the numbers. Let's see, 28-21 Frisco, and other games I like. I like the Jets. They're only getting. I wish it was 7, not the 6.5. Not an official pick, but I like the Jets. Baker's all beat up. They have a rest disadvantage. They played Monday night. Tampa O-line is hurting. You get Tyrod Taylor. He's probably better than Fields at this point. And you got Sauce Gardner that's going to be on Mike Evans, although Mike had a tough matchup last week, and he came through a little bit. I had him on one team. It's a half a point PPR. I got like 9.5 points. So, even though in a PPR, he probably got 12. But anyways, I think Jets have a good D. They should keep it close. Like I said, Tampa, lucky to pull out that game at the last minute, and I think they're hurting a little. So, but they can run the ball, but the Jets historically been better against the run. So I had it, because I have my sheet here with the Jets. I had it 21-17 Tampa, so you cover. And I bet the Giants. I got 6. Kansas City has had 17 one-score games. That's a small bet. They've won 17 one-score games in a row until last week. So you're definitely going to start seeing the regression here. But here's the bigger problem, is that the NFL cannot afford to have the Chiefs go 0-3. That's their main product. They put them in the most primetime games, and you have the Swift effect that the NFL has made millions on additional eyeballs to the set for people that don't know a touchdown from a first down, but they're waiting to see the 34 seconds during the game that Taylor Swift will be on the TV, and it helps the NFL ratings. So I think I had the quarterback, the ref. I don't know if I written the ref down, but I think they could get job, but I put a small bet on them. The Giants were playing better, but anyways, so that's about it for this week. Look forward to doing this again, and hopefully we win some money this week, and I'll see you next time.